It's meaning. Normacy bias is a cognitive, meaning from the brain, bias causing people to underestimate the likelihood and impact of a disaster. Like if it is a plane crashes, you sitting in the cockpit or sitting in the plane waiting for the stewardess to tell you what to do. She might have been dead, right? So you're just sitting there waiting for an authority. And that's when all hell breaks loose in this society, you're gonna have a lot of normacy bias going on. Let me do this. Herd mentality, meaning. Herd mentality, the tendency of people's behavior or beliefs to conform to those of the group to which they belong. So all Christians speak the same thing. Jesus, he's a heavenly father. The heavenly father Jesus came down. That was a heavenly father as a son. And where was the heavenly father at that time? He was in the body of Jesus at that time. So who was sitting on the throne of the Most High? The archangel Michael. These are stupid people. Every last one of them, every last Christian out there is fucked up in the head. And this truth gets you fucked up in the head. Let's deal with Tucker Carlson. He's trying to get answers. He's talking to Mike Huckabee, saying, shouldn't we get a DNA test? Because he doesn't believe that it is, because he ran into us. So guess what? Because he's talking to Mike Huckabee, saying, shouldn't we get a DNA test? Because he doesn't believe that it is, because he ran into us. So guess what? If this guy winds up missing, you know why. Because he's questioning that they're the people, whether they're the people or not. In the land of Israel, I'm going into other things, but there's lessons within lessons, excuse me. In Israel, in Palestine, you can't, you know how in America you can get a DNA test? So you can't get a DNA. You got to go before a court of law to ask permission to get a DNA test. Why do they do that? Why do you think they do? Why do you think that is? Because you're going to find out that your line does not go back to Palestine. It goes back to someplace in Europe. It goes back to the caves. So, because you're not the people. So anyway, let's come on back to this.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and peace and salutations to elect out there, feeding the sheep of Yahweh Shai. I'm going to be doing a lesson in response to the clip I posted in the beginning, right? And it's going to be the video of this title, Lord willing, it'll be called "Thou shalt not follow multitude to do evil," right? Because we're not supposed to keep that herd mentality, right? These people, they want to continue with their lives, right? They want to, continue getting married, right? While World War III is about to break loose, right? You have Donald Trump, he just bombed Iran, right? You got the implementation of the mark of the beast, right? You're starting to see, the signs of it being implemented, and you have a motherfucker out here trying to get married, start raising a family, right? All this bullshit, right? 'Cause ultimately these people, they don't really believe that the world's going to end, right? And Elder Apostle Tahar, right? He went into that. These people have something called normalcy bias, right? Let's bring that out. It says normalcy bias is a cognitive bias that causes people to underestimate the possibility and impact of disasters, believing that things will continue to function normally even after during a crisis, right? This is the mentality these people have, right? Everything's going to get back to normal. Everything's going to be okay. And fuck that, man. This is the book of Matthew 24 and verse 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be, right? There will never be nothing in the past will ever compare to what is about to go down, right? You know, and there's no building back up after that. That's it. It's over. This is the book of Jeremiah 51:9. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone to his own country. For her judgment reaches to heaven and is lifted up to the skies." Right? And so there's no healing for this fucking place, man. You know what I'm saying? You have that one song. What do they say? It says, "Every little thing's gonna be all right." Right? Nah, that's, nothing's gonna be all right for these people, man. But for the elect, man, it's gonna be good, man. You know, some of us may be martyrs. Some of us may be killed for this truth. Right? Some of us may be killed for this truth. Right? But what the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, he's going to bring us back if that happens to us, right? And we're going to get beamed up into those chariots, ultimately. We're going to get those new spiritual bodies, right? But for these people, they're going to end up being what you call missile food, man. You know, that's it, right? This is the book of Deuteronomy 7, chapter 7, and verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Right? So we are holy people, man. We're not like these people. And, these people, man, they're so focused on this society, man. Right? This, what this world has to offer, right? They're so focused on Cardi B, Michael Jordan, right? Their jobs, their kids, their grandkids. We don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what this world has, right? Because we're holy people. We don't belong in this place because this place is not holy, right? It's the complete opposite from holy, man. It's the book of Zechariah 13:8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but in the third shall be left therein." Right? So only 1/3 of the nation of Israel is going to make it, right? You have the 1/3 and then the hopeful elect, right? And then these 2/3, they're going to be cut off on this side, right? Now, all of Israel is going to be saved because of what? Because these basically 2/3 are going to come back as offspring. But the rest of these people, man, are going to have to fucking die, right? And 2/3 is a lot of people, man. Out of how many Israelites there are, billions, man, right? Billions of Israelites. And only 1/3 of the nation of Israel will the Lord keep, right? So we're not supposed to even be like these fucking people, right? Because the multitude, right? These 2/3 are doing evil. Right, and as you can see, is in the screenshot that I put up, right? This is what these people are going to be doing, man. They're going to be, outside, right? When all shit hits the fan, it's going to be like a normal day for them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to continue to try to live in this normal ass society. They're going to do anything and everything they can to survive, right? Which includes taking that chip, right? Because the multitude is going to take that fucking chip, right? It's the book of Exodus 23:2. It says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment." Right? Because what our people, they're a bunch of gang-banging, adulterous ass, idol worshipping ass niggas, right? All they do is fucking, what you have these people out here. They'll worship Allah, right? They'll worship Buddha, right? You have they'll they see a fucking Chinese monk, right? They'll see one of these, Rasta men, these fucking idiots, and they'll give double honors to these people, right? They'll give respect to these people, these fucking morons, right? They'll give respect to these, Sadhguru, fucking, the Shaolin monks. But then when it comes to actually give credit where credit's due, right? They don't even want to acknowledge the men of the Lord, right? They don't want to acknowledge the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. They don't want to acknowledge Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? They don't want to acknowledge these scriptures, right? They just want to fucking, do their own thing, right? They want to do what everybody else is doing. So, fuck these people, man. We're not supposed to be like them. They're not going to like us. They're not going to, they're gonna mock at us. They're gonna scoff at us, man. Who even cares about these people, man? Because the Lord, he set their asses up for destruction, right? You had the guy who was previously the owner of Sakari, right? He was giving double honors to a guy named Sai Netta, I think his name is. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'm pretty sure he's one of these like spirituality people, right? Just fucking loser, man. You'll give double honors to these people, but the people that actually taught you the truth, right, which you later rejected later on, and which you fell out of it, right? But the people that taught you want to have nothing to do with these people, right? You'll talk crap about them, backstab them, but idiots in the world, man. You are giving honors and respect to, man. Fuck you, man. Fuck these people, man. This is the book of John 15 and 19. It says, if you belong to the world, it will love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you, right? So the Lord, he put a completely different spirit on us, right? And therefore, these people will hate us, right? That they will absolutely fucking hate us, right? So don't be surprised. You can't get a girlfriend, you can't get a job, you can't basic things, right? You ask cashier for a cup of water, and she fucking gives you some stupid ass answer. Anything, man. It doesn't matter, right? Ultimately the Lord gave us a different spirit than these people, and because our spirit isn't one of these wicked ass spirits like the rest of these people are gonna hate us, right? They're gonna find us strange, man. There's no blending in to a fucking society, man. There's no blending in, man. We have to be completely different from these people. You know what I'm saying? While the rest of these people are here, waiting for, March Madness, Super Bowls, Christmas, Easter, right? We're over here, we're prophesying the downfall of their kingdom. And we're waiting, man. And, these people, a lot of them are going to take the chip, right? So why the fuck would you be around somebody that's going to take the chip when shit's about to hit the fan? And you know what I'm saying? The last place you want to be around, the last person you want to be with is somebody that's going to take that fucking chip. When all hell's about to break loose, those are the last people you want to be around, man. This is 2 Ezra 8 and 1. It says, he answered me, saying, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few, right? This world that's coming is for us, man, the Israelites, right? The elect, right? The scriptures say the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded, right? And the Lord, he made many Israelites, many Israelites. That's corresponding to the book of Hosea 1 and 10. How it speaks about the Israelites will be like the sand of the sea, innumerable, right? So there's a lot of Israelites, yet the Lord, he's only, this time he's only going to take and spare a few out of that very large number of people, right? So we're not supposed to be like these people. We're not supposed to follow the multitude, right? When shit hits the fan, man, when Jacob's trouble, all hell breaks loose, occurs. These people are gonna be out here like the picture I put in the beginning of the video, right? They're gonna be with their normalcy bias, right? Just acting like everything's still normal around them, trying to still scavenge for food, trying to survive. That's gonna be the ultimate reason a lot of people are gonna end up taking that chip, the mark of the beast, right? Because they're gonna believe that society's still gonna continue after. Right? They're gonna believe that America will still continue, that their society nothing bad will happen to them, right? But shortly after that, that's when the Lord is gonna send those fucking nuclear missiles, man. Those nuclear missiles, man. 200,000 nuclear missiles to put destruction onto America, Babylon the Great. Right. With that being said, I'm gonna give all glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach you and rule well, and peace and salutation to elect that they're feeding the sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Shalom.